Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vinyl Rewind podcast. Today I'm speaking with Marty Wilson-Piper, formerly of the band The Church, and now the curator of the In Deep Music Archive, which is this massive music archive. But it's not just music, it's got books, memorabilia, guitars, amps, CDs, cassettes, but the crown jewel is a collection of over 65,000 LPs. Let's not waste any more time and get into the conversation. Marty, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Art.
Hey,
welcome.
Thank you. What is the count now? Around 65,000 LPs? Yeah. Just LPs, or is that including 7 inches and box sets and stuff?
I think it's just the LPs.
Wow.
I've got about 1,000 CDs and 3,000 cassettes, and it's a massive collection. But I've been collecting records since I was 9. I still have my original Itchy-Coo Park by the Small Faces and See Emily Play by the Floyd, who were called The Pink Floyd when that record came out. They weren't called Pink Floyd.
Right.
When we were touring all the time, I was always running around looking at shops, secondhand shops, bookshops. I got a huge book collection as well. What happened was I had a storehouse in England, and while I was still traveling, I just kept on putting things in the storehouse.
Oh, okay.
And I just kind of ended up living in Portugal because of Brexit. My wife is German, and because of Brexit, it was just kind of like really troublesome for us to try and live in England. So we sort of like, if we can get them from England to here, this is a perfect situation. Yeah. And we managed to find a wonderful lady called Sarah, who is a patron, and she paid for the traveling of the records from England to Portugal, and we were finally able to create the archive as a thing in one place.
How is it organized?
It's mainly A to Z of US, UK pop rock, for want of better terms.
Sure,
And then it goes Ireland, American folk, English folk, Canada, Australia, New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Reggae, Africa, 60s and 70s, R&B, funk, soul, and then more contemporary R&B, funk, soul. I don't have a massive hip-hop collection because I don't really know much about it. I got the Eminems and the 50 Cents from the 90s, CDs from stuff like that. But as far as contemporary hip-hop, if somebody came in here and said, I know everything about contemporary hip-hop, can we have a contemporary hip-hop section in here? I'd say, of course.
Yeah.
And then in the corridor, it's got Sweden, Germany, France, Holland, Italy, Iceland, Finland, Norway, those countries.
You mentioned the countries. Is that like where the record is pressed, or is that where the music comes from?
Where the music comes from, yeah.
Okay.
So, see, the reason I do it like that is because otherwise S would be like thousands of records.
Yeah.
So I just break it up a little bit, and then I've got crooners, Frank and Nat King Cole, and then I got the women, Ella and Billie Holiday and all that stuff. And then I got jazz. The CDs are more or less just all mixed.
Gotcha.
But the vinyl is kind of separated into a few different genres. And I did think about, for fun, having it in chronological order, but it just seemed too crazy to sort it out.
Yeah, can you imagine doing it autobiographically when you bought them?
That's fun, yeah. You got to be able to find. So that's the thing. You have to be able to find.
Do you use like Excel or Discogs as a way to no? Okay, so it's all there's no card catalog. I see. Okay, wow. But I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I have a similar system set up for my collection.
I mean, this isn't an obscure one, but I bought a record by an American artist that I really like, and I can't remember his surname.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's filed away, and one day I'm going to stumble across it, but I don't remember what his surname was. I bought the record in Germany, And I played it a couple of times and went, wow, I really like this record. I'll just file it away. But I can't remember the guy's goddamn surname. And that actually hasn't ever happened before. But
crazy.
I shamefully am admitting to you that it has happened.
Yeah.
I have a record I really like that's buried in my collection, but not just randomly lost, in alphabetical order.
Right.
And the only way I'm going to find it is to start at A and go, all right. Dun, 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 until I find it. Hoping it's not, his surname isn't Y.
Right. Right. So how much of the collection have you listened to?
I mean, I don't really know how to answer that question because it's been a long life.
Sure.
And I might have some records that I've bought that I haven't actually listened to on vinyl.
Right.
I mean, it's funny because the other day a friend of mine came from Sweden and he picked out a Captain Beefheart record.
Yeah.
And it was still sealed. And I said, well, the reason that record has not been opened yet is because as a fan of Captain Beefheart, that record, if I did not buy that record when it came out, I would never find it again. It's on a small label.
Oh.
It's a collection of rarities and obscurities.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get it, then it was probably made 500 copies 20 years ago. There's no way I'd ever find it again. And one day I'll, possibly get to listening to it. But I mean, there's a big queue. There's records coming. The Cure have got a new album out.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's crazy, right?
The have got a new album out. Godspeed You Black Emperor have got a new album out. Travis have got a new album out. The Smile have got a new album out. There's kind of like many records to catch up on all the time. But you do what you can. And I always thought, look, I love buying records. I just love it as a thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's a great thing to be doing. Going to a record store, what's this? And if I've got money, I buy it. And then someday, after I've gone to meet my maker, somebody's going to walk in here and they're going to go, wow, this is amazing. Thank you, expired Marty, for collecting this wonderful collection for posterity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to have listened to every record, and I don't even need to like every record. It's not like I purposely go and buy records I don't like.
Right.
But I sort of have an attitude of, it's a library, and we need to have a selection of things which are possibly not in my area.
Yeah. What was like the main challenge of transporting all of your collection, not just the records, but the guitars and the amps and things, which are fragile, let's just say?
Yeah, it's just trucks going through borders.
Yeah.
Managed to get it to the country without anybody hassling us about it being goods for sale, which it never was.
Right, yeah.
It isn't goods for sale, but you try telling somebody that 60,000 records is not for sale.
Right.
But nobody asked, so we just got it in as personal goods for people who are moving to another country, which is exactly what it is.
What are some of the highlights of the archive in terms of vinyl? Like, what are some maybe valuable or rare or just meaningful to you?
I've got a copy of the Butcher album, the Beatles Butcher album.
Is the cover has it been peeled off, or does it have the original?
Yeah, it's a peeled one. It's
a
peeled one. Yeah. So that's cool.
That's really
when
cool.
everybody comes as Beatles fans, I always say, Butcher album? Like, oh my God, you got the Butcher album. Or what is that?
Yeah.
I got a few rarities, I'm not an elitist record collector. Mm-hmm. I don't only collect original pressings of Velvet Underground records.
Right.
I'm quite happy to have a CD as well as a reissue. I mean, Velvet Underground, I don't have an original banana with the peeled banana thing, but I do have probably, I don't even remember, I probably do have a 70s copy of the Banana album, If somebody said to me, look, here is the real thing, I'd be really happy to get it, but not for $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, because ultimately it's the collectible that you're buying, not so much the album.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I can't afford to buy everything.
Yeah.
So when people sort of like love the archive as a concept and they donate things and send me things, it's fantastic, you know, because I mean, I really appreciate it every time somebody donates something, whether it's financial or actual physical things to the archive, because I can't with everything. I try.
So it's an archive, but it's not, I'm assuming it's not really open to the public.
It's appointment. You can come and see the archive by appointment.
Oh, okay.
If you want to come see it, send us an email. We'll find a time, and you can come and visit.
That's amazing. Yeah.
The thing is that it's often tourists, but some people do come to Porto knowing that the archive is here.
Yeah.
It's one of the things they want to do. And they get in touch beforehand and say, we're coming on holiday to Porto, and we're wondering if it would be possible for us to come and see the archive whilst we are there.
Yeah.
And we would say, yeah, sure, let's find a time and when you're available and I'm available, and you can come and see. Other people, I run into a couple of Australian tourists, young people. I said, I got an archive, you know, you want to come and visit? Here's my card. I gave them a card. They sent me an email, said, when can we come? We'd really like to. And I said 3:00 Friday. And they came, and they were 24 and 25 years old, and they were here for ages. They loved the place.
Wow.
You know, they were just so into it, so interested, you know. And I just gave them a lot of time because I had the time at the time.
Yeah.
And just so encouraging to see. It's not just, you know, not there's anything wrong with fans of mine from the good old days who come. I love those people, you know. But to see a 24 and a 25-year-old couple from Adelaide come here and really enjoy the place and think it's really great is really encouraging.
Can I ask you about the history of the church at all? Is that something you're open to talking about? Yeah, because like one question I had was your exit from the band, because it feels very one-sided, at least what's available publicly.
Well, there is no sides. I didn't want to do it anymore, so I left.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay. See, to me that wasn't clear. It just I was reading like, well, he didn't get back to us, but it's like there's got to be more to the story.
Well, that's pretty true. I left one day and that was it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I just felt it had reached. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to live into the autumn years feeling not content.
Yeah.
And that was as good a reason as any not to do it anymore.
Sure. From an outsider's perspective, it feels like a lot of times a band, you know, they come up, they have that big hit, and then they follow it up, and then maybe there's a little bit of a slump, and then they come back, and then after that, it just sort of becomes like a greatest hits band for the rest of the years. Like they stop innovating, they stop putting out new music, or if they do, it's just like a regurgitation of other things. So I can understand how that could maybe feel limiting or just unfulfilling.
Yeah, and you know, it's just like the saddest thing about me not being in the church is that we were good together at writing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we had a good creative chemistry, you know, and it's I think that's a shame that we weren't able to continue to do that just for art for art's sake reason.
Right.
You know, I'm not really concerned about the success or lack of it, or you know, I'm not care about any of that at all. Not interested in on any level. But I just see that finding somebody to write good music with is just worth a lot, you know?
Yeah. To be creative is exposing. It's vulnerable to be in that space. I'm assuming you watched Get Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like for you, watching that?
Well, it showed, you know, McCartney trying to inspire everybody to get off their asses and do stuff.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else is just kind of like going,
Right.
You know, contributing good things, but you could see that he was the motivator, you know.
Yeah.
You know, everything about every member of that band is so great. And again, you know, the problem for me with the Beatles breaking up is that they no longer got to work together with that chemistry.
Yeah.
That's tragedy, you know. It's like, oh God, and McCartney and Ringo and George all going through those eras and fame and success and records, and every time you put a Beatles record on, it doesn't matter if it's the first one or the last one, they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, all of them are fantastic. And it's like, you know, what a shame that didn't continue, you know. But you could probably say the same thing about lots of bands, like, you know, Morrissey and Marr.
Right.
You know, they probably could have written a whole lot of brilliant songs together into the future.
Right.
There's probably lots of examples, not that any are coming to mind right now, but there's probably lots of, apart from the Smiths, there's probably lots of examples of songwriting teams who, whether they're musicians in a band or, you know, I mean, imagine if Dave Gilmour and Roger Waters had managed to get along.
Right. I know. I think about that. Yeah.
You know, they might have made some really amazing records.
I know.
But then again, you know, a lot of artists sort of seem to forget why they were good. It's like, what happened to Bowie after Scary Monsters? Mm-hmm. He came up with Let's Dance, and then he went into those records, Never Let Me Down, and, you know, Blue Jean, you know, and it's just a whole lot of records which just kind of weren't interesting at all. And then he made, you know, obviously before he died, he made a couple of great albums. It's got the cool ones.
I know.
But there's kind of a whole period of when he just wasn't very interesting. And yet when you look at Space Oddity to Hunky Dory to Ziggy Stardust to Diamond Dogs to Aladdin Sane to Heroes, Low, Station to Station, Young Americans, Lodger, Scary Monsters, you know, you're going like, oh my God.
I know.
Album after album after album of different styles and different approaches and just genius, you know. And then, oh, I know, I'll make some really terrible records. It's just like, I don't know. Who knows what happens? If something happens, it kind of doesn't happen to writers or painters. It does happen to musicians. Yeah. They sort of seem to get worse generally.
It is interesting, yeah.
People say that Leonard Cohen made some good records later on, which he did. I liked some of the later Leonard Cohen records, but I don't like them as much as I like the original ones.
Right.
You know, Songs from a Room and all that stuff. Yeah. You know, I don't like them as much as I like those. Same with Dylan. You know, I can sort of get into some of the Dylan's things a bit. Yeah. But you know, Highway 61, Blonde on Blonde, you know, all the 60s records, maybe apart from the first one, which is a bit sort of traditional that one. But from there on, another side of Bob Dylan, Bring It All Back Home, Highway 61, Blonde on Blonde, and then right into Blood on the Tracks and, you know, Desire. Yeah. I mean, just fantastic records. And then at some point you sort of go, Dylan's got a new record out.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Prince, you know, same thing. Just a, rocket trajectory, then gets really creative. But, you know, about the mid-90s, it's just like, where are we going here? It's like he almost lost an edge, or he came to Jesus too hard or something. And then, like, if you listen to those last albums before he passed, it's like even the lyrics on these records are just like, what? Yeah. What is he saying about?
Another one is Elton John.
Sure. Yeah.
He was a great singer-songwriter, you know. Then the 80s came along and it was like, oh God, tedious.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of that Leather Jackets album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or there's the flip side where an artist is so consistent it becomes mediocre. Right, it's like, well, this just sounds like the last record. Like, you'll see that more with modern bands, I notice. Like, Weezer is a good case of that, or Interpol is another case for that, where it just, I mean, it's you know what you're going to get, and it's good, but it's also just kind of more of the same.
Yeah. There's all these bands, and this one, Whispering Suns, which I was talking to you about, this album that I went and saw the band and got the album, it's their fourth album. I mean, I'm somebody who's always investigating and never, ever come across them ever anywhere on print, video, TV. But I really like this. How can I not know about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can try to follow them on Spotify and like...
But you can't follow everybody.
I know.
I mean, Olivia told me that I need to look at bands in town. That's the best way of finding out
I've heard of
about things.
that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's...
But they're just like this network of information of the arts.
Yeah.
Was a wonderful thing that's just disappeared completely.
Yeah. I noticed you had an album out a couple of years ago, 2021. And
Which was that?
Well, I'm looking on Spotify, so it lists as 2001 Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, that was with Brick Smith.
Yeah.
Bricks and I wrote some songs together in LA many years ago when she kind of dug them up and put them out as a record. But you see, the thing is, unless you go to my website and investigate me, you have no idea about what I've done with Jed in Minneapolis and the Space Summit album. And Nico in Stockholm and the Moat 2 Moat records. And the upcoming record I'm putting out on my label by Valley of Salt, which is a concept album with kind of progressive music, which is about the life of John the Baptist.
Crazy. Wow.
Right? Or this electronic album,
No Fear of Silence, Blue
which is a record
Shift.
coming out soon, which is an electronic
Cool.
record.
That sounds great.
So there's all kinds of I'm doing all kinds of things all the time.
Yeah.
Archive, live stream, producing records, putting records out on my label, writing songs with people. There's stuff happening all the time. But you have to come and find me because I can't find you.
Yeah. So we'll go to your website.
Or come to the In Deep Music Archive and experience something never experienced anywhere else, with lots of information, friendly faces, beautiful music on the world's comfiest couch.
Yeah, no, it's on my to-do list next time. I haven't been to Portugal before. I definitely want to visit. Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for hanging out, Marty. It's been a pleasure. It's just great to talk to a fellow collector. It's always a blast.
Yeah. You and everybody who's watching and anybody who's interested in music and books and art and film and everything, you're all most welcome to come in here, put the kettle on, have a nice cup of herbal tea with some honey in it, and sit around and discuss Tarkovsky's best film, or Richard Thompson's best album, or Dostoevsky's greatest novel. Bring it on and light the incense sticks, and we'll all be nice to each other. And when we disagree, we'll say, that's interesting. I'm not really a fan of that, but interesting to hear your perspective.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, Marty. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm here. Porto, it's a great place. It's a wonderful... Nobody ever comes to Porto disappointed, to tell you. And it's not the most expensive... It's not the most expensive place in the world. It's easy to get from America. You can fly from Newark to Porto.
Oh, direct. That's amazing.
I work a lot in the studio in Dallas, and we fly from Porto to Newark, and then Newark to Dallas. It's really easy. And when you get here, it's not expensive.
Awesome.
You come in here and you'll order a coffee and a cake, and you'll go, wait a minute, did they undercharge me?
Right. Amazing. All right, you sold me, Marty. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Enjoy the evening. Thank you again. Take care.
Thanks, Eric. Nice one, mate.
All right, everybody, that will do it for today. I want to thank Marty and his wife, Olivia, for setting this all up. The archive looks amazing. I can't wait to visit one day. If you want to do that, just head over to indeepmusicarchive.net to set up an appointment and say hi. Until then, I want to thank you all so much for watching, but I especially want to thank my members over on Patreon. I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.